I'm David C. Hoke, author of the novel Mirov. I've been bringing you guys some insight into the things that inspired and motivated and visions I love that hopefully help me create a vision that you would love. And today I wanted to show you guys Die Hard. Die Hard is on my top 10 list. I think I've done Star Trek 2, RoboCop, 1987, and Die Hard, and all three of these are on my top 10 favorite movie list. Now, we're talking about book, and here I'm talking about movies. Well, in my mind, Mirov started out as a movie idea in my head, and then for all kinds of reasons, if I've made a video already, you go look at it. If not, we'll cover it another time. But it just made a lot more sense to turn into a book. And as a novel, I still had these inspirations in my head influencing me, and these scenes from these movies and these different things influencing me to create something else. And Die Hard, the roof scene, lots of great scenes in Die Hard. Was such a roller coaster thrill ride when it came out, and it's held up so well. I watched the 4K recently, and just with the sound system, and it's just as powerful now as it ever was. The audio, that's just amazing. But particularly the roof scene where you've got the copters coming in, get the thumping helicopters, and Bruce Willis, John McClane is on the roof trying to get the people off the roof so they don't get blowed up. Having to shoot a gun to force them, kind of like sheep herding, herd the sheep off the roof. The copter starts shooting at him, thinking he's shooting at the terrorists. He got guns going off, he's getting shot at. And then he knows the roof is going to be blown up because he's seen the detonators and all the C4. And he has to take the fire hose and jump off just as it explodes. And just before that, the gunman on the copter is about to blow him away with a sniper rifle. It just all builds up crescendos until he jumps off. And of course, the roof blows and all hell breaks loose. And then it not only, it doesn't just end there, he then goes over the side, smashes into glass. The reel from the hose breaks loose. So now he's smashed against the glass. The thing holding him up is losing its grip on the roof. He has to shoot the glass, go inside. Then that thing comes down, starts to pull him out, and then he finally gets the hose off just before he goes over the edge. And it's that grueling sequence of events that just keeps adding another layer to it that it makes it so amazing and so well constructed. And then what makes it last is because, as I've mentioned the other ones, you have all these dread moments. I love the word dread because I think it's so underutilized in entertainment these days, not just in movies, but in shows and things like that. We don't build up dread anymore. It's just, we've gotten lazy as storytellers. And maybe we're lazy as an audience too, to some respect, but it's built up the dread of all this throughout the movie with the ruthlessness of the terrorists. And we know he'll go to extreme lengths to save his wife and to save the hostages. And you have this, the detonators are introduced. They'll fully go on. They're not just bluffing with this roof explosion. They're going to fall. They've established through the movie that they're going to do it. There's no doubt in your mind watching this movie that they're going to execute their plan. So all these dread things are building up until you crescendo. And then that crescendo takes place of jumping off the roof, but then it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And like I said with Star Trek 2, like I said with RoboCop, my fascination and what Mirov basically comes down to in terms of my fascination in terms of tone, I guess you might say. There's all kinds of facets to making a story, but in terms of tone, was I wanted to take these moments I love and then just magnify them over and over and over again. So that's one scene in Die Hard. There's all kinds of thrilling scenes in that movie, but that crescendo is like, that's the featured build-up moment. Then when he goes and he meets Hans, we've already had that big magnum opus of a scene, and then some his Hans and him ends up being somewhat of a Western shootout, which goes with the whole motif yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. So that buildup of this crescendo of jumping on the roof, like I said, I want to create a whole story of that over and over and over again. So again, after you read the book, you should just be absolutely exhausted. If you're watch the movie version, you would just be sweaty and need a cigarette. Even if you don't smoke, you need a cigarette, right? So just to exhaust you in a very good way, in a fun way, like a roller coaster ride exhaustion. So that to me was the great drive behind creating and constructing Mirov. Build an entertainment that would take these moments, instead of being just a moment, it was the actual pacing of it, the violence of RoboCop, the emotional up and down with extreme up of Star Trek 2, and this peril that just won't end, and that excitement and holding the breath of it. I wanted to like make those into one big entertainment and not just one payoff. So go out and grab Die Hard if you've never seen it, or stream it or whatever. Watch it with the surround sound on, and if you have seen Die Hard, just enjoy it as for what it is. Such an amazing movie. It holds up so well. It's Bruce Willis's legacy picture for sure. And hopefully you'll go and you'll grab a Rob and you'll enjoy it too. So all I can say now is yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.